there, Patiala House Court has decided to send Shankar Mishra to 14 days of judicial custody. That's the breaking that we have for you. Delhi police had sought police custody of 3 days. That has been denied. Patiala House Court has sent Shankar Mishra to 14 days of judicial custody. Whatever police wants to ask him, whatever further identification has to be done, that can be done while he is in judicial custody is what the court's mind seems to be. Yash is with me on the phone line. Yash, details.
Well, Arunima, now it is coming to the fore that finally the court has given the judgment on this case, and the court has sent Shankar Mishra to 14 days judicial custody. These details are being brought by our colleague Ananya Bhatnagar, who is actually who is present inside the court. So the police had sought remand for him for 3 days, but I think the court didn't see the merit in this entire case, and the court also observed that what you have to do with him. You don't have to collect any footages in this matter, and in fact a statement also doesn't need in this on 164. So this is the latest we are getting, that Delhi's Patiala House Court has sent Shankar Mishra to 14 days of judicial custody.
Right. So 14 days of judicial custody is what Mishra has been granted. Legally speaking, and I'm waiting for Ananya Bhatnagar, who was inside the courtroom, to join me on this. But legally speaking, this could also mean that the defense could move with its bail application now that JC has been granted and not PC. But Nikhil here with me. Nikhil, just take us through, why was the Delhi police's request for 3-day police custody not granted? Why did their arguments not find merit with the Metropolitan Magistrate there? Nikhil, can you hear me? I'll try and fix that line, but just to tell you what has happened in the last half an hour or so, about 3:30 the proceedings began. Delhi police tried to gain custody, 3 days custody, that has been refused. 14 days of judicial custody is what the court has ordered. Yash is outside the Patiala House courtroom. Yash, why did the police's request for 3-day custody not find merit with the Metropolitan Magistrate?
Well, Arunima, the court has actually made an observation stating that why you need a judicial custody in this entire case. And in fact, the court went on to say that there is nothing new that you need to do. And in fact, you are not required for he is not required for collection of any sort of footage in this case, and 164 statement or examination of examination of the pilot. So the court has said that there is no ground for the police remand, and in fact, like you rightly mentioned earlier also, since he's been granted judicial custody in this matter, now the lawyers and the defense of Shankar Mishra, they have moved for a bail plea in this entire case. And what Ananya Bhatnagar is reporting from inside, he has said that this hearing will take place on the 11th of January. So there are two major updates in this entire case. The police's demand for remand has been shot down by the court, and in fact he's been sent for 14 days of judicial custody. Right. And now the defense team of Mr. Mishra has also moved the court for the bail, and in fact that matter will be heard on 11th of January. And
not just that, notice has also been issued, which means on the 11th of January, I mean the time, what is the legal process? Once you are sent to judicial custody, the defense is free to move for bail. That application has also been swiftly moved by the defense team here, led by Advocate Manu Sharma. Notice has also been issued, and the next date is 11th of January. So on the 11th of January, the prosecution and the defense will argue why bail must be granted to Mishra. Till the 11th, for the next 4 days or so, Mishra will be in Tihar jail. He will be in judicial custody. On the 11th, the bail application will be heard. The defense will argue that, whatever need he had to say, whatever evidence need to be gathered has been gathered. So he should not be kept behind bars. He should be granted bail. Defense has always underlined that the principle goes, bail is your right, jail is not. But we'll have to wait and see if that is something that the prosecution counters. I'm waiting for Ananya to join me to also try and understand whether there is any plan to challenge this order from the Metropolitan Magistrate at a higher court or not. But Nikhil, do you get any sense from the Delhi police? Will they just live with this? They wanted 3 days police custody, that has not been granted. Anything to suggest that they could move a higher court challenging this?
Well, Arunima, it is very unlikely that they are going to move to the High Court for this kind of matter. Yes, they wanted a 3-day police custody for all the further questioning and for all the investigation which is pending at this point of time. And this is the reason why other stakeholders as well who were part of this investigation, they were also called in today. But the same request of the Delhi police has been denied by the judge inside who was pronouncing the order. But now he has been sent for the 14 days JC judicial custody, and in all likelihood he is to be sent to the Tihar jail. Meanwhile, yes, this is the breaking piece of information, Arunima, that along with the same bail application has also moved in by the lawyer of the accused person. Now this becomes important, and the notice will be issued, and the next hearing on the same will take place on 11th of January. So amid all this, it is highly unlikely that the Delhi police is going to ask for the police custody, or they are going to challenge the order in the High Court, because they wanted PC, which is also one reason that there was media hype as well. And this is something which has been mentioned by the court of law as well, that just because media pressure ban gaya hai, isliye hi aap mat kijiye. This was said to the victim's lawyer as well. But now, as per the details...
Nikhil, sorry to cut you short, but Ananya was there inside the courtroom and he's joining us on the phone line. Ananya, just recap for us what has really happened in the last half an hour. You've also ended this hearing by saying that notice has been issued for bail application by the suspect.
Well, definitely. The police had sought for a 3 days PCR, that is a police custody remand of the accused, saying that they want to record his 164 statement. They also want to confront him with other, in fact, the air cabin crew. But all of those arguments fell flat before the court. The court clearly said that no kind of a PC remand will be granted in this particular case. This is not a fit case for a police custody remand, and Shankar Mishra was remanded to JC basically. Now they have also moved a bail application into this particular case. As we were discussing, Arunima, earlier as well, this is not a case where a sustained interrogation could be required, because all the facts are already on record by way of airline reports, by way of what has happened on that particular flight. And now, particularly, what we can see is the bail application has now been moved. Notice has been issued on that particular bail application by, in fact, the court, and the hearing would take place on that on January 11th at around 2 p.m. So definitely the fate of Shankar Mishra stars completely in his favors, as he has been sent to judicial custody for 14 days. However, we can see his bail application is being dealt with, though the court rejected important argument that was being put forth by the counsel for the, in fact, the accused, that the 354 is not made out into this particular case. The court said that it is a very, very preliminary stage. It is a very nascent stage. The investigation has just begun, and he has just joined the investigation after being arrested in this particular case. So it is a very, very initial stage to discuss whether or not a particular charge is made out against him or not. But definitely the court felt that no kind of a police custody remand or sustained interrogation is required. In fact, the court made a very, very categorical observation that PC remand is not a punishment, and it is not viable to give out a PC remand just like that. There has to be a particular reason, just like in other cases, co-accused have to be nabbed. In this case, no co-accused have to be nabbed. And in fact, no kind of evidence has to be collected from him. Even if his statements are to be recorded, they can be done in judicial custody as well. And in fact, it is not required to keep him in a police custody remand. So definitely a small relief coming in for somewhere or the other, coming in for, in fact, Shankar Mishra, because but at the same point of time, he'll have to go to jail. He will have to be inside the Tihar jail, as he's been sent to 14 days of JC. But then definitely, prima facie, a little relief, because there is a standing that he can secure a bail now in this particular case, because the PCR has now been rejected. The notice has been issued on the bail application, and we'll get to see whether or not his bail application would now be accepted or rejected by the court on January 11th when the matter comes up next.
But Ananya,